Now let's see it in Matthew 16. The second component of following Jesus, I said, is self-denial. Self-denial. Chapter 16 of Matthew at verse 24. Chapter 16 of Matthew verse 24. It says in verse 24, then he said Jesus unto his disciples, his followers, if any man will come after me, if any man will follow me, let him deny himself. It is clear, it is replete, it is explicit in the scripture that self-denial is an integral part of our following Jesus. Now, a man of God said self-denial simply means saying no to self. Very important. Saying no to self. That there are times that self may begin to demand for some things. And like I said earlier, they may not be sinful, of course, but they are capable of maybe hindering your spiritual growth. They are capable of maybe stunting your spiritual growth or stunting your progress, your work with God, or they are capable of impeding the advancement of the kingdom. And self begins to, demand for these things. Saying no to that demand, saying no at such times is what we refer to as self-denial. They may be pleasurable things, pleasant things, but they are capable of impeding your growth spiritually, impeding your work with God, or impeding the progress of the kingdom. You have to say no to such things. That's what we refer to as self-denial. Let's see another scripture now. Mark chapter 8 at verse 34. 34. Look at it in chapter 8 of Mark at verse 34. And when he had called the people unto him with his disciples also, he said unto them, whosoever. Look at the word here, whosoever. So before somebody might begin to say, maybe that statement was before the cross, or that statement was only for the disciples. He said, whosoever in the time of his earthly ministry, whosoever in the times of the epistle, the time of the Act of the Apostles, whosoever in this our own dispensation, whosoever will come after me. The Bible said, Jesus is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So whosoever will come after me, let him deny himself. It is clear in the scripture that self-denial is an important part of our following Jesus. Let's see another scripture now. Luke chapter 9. Already, we know the principle of 2 or 3 witnesses. Luke chapter 9 at verse 23. Luke 9 verse 23. Let's see it again. And he said to them all, every one of them, if any man, again, whosoever, any man, if any man will come after me, let him deny himself. Very important. Let him. It is him that will deny himself. It is him that will say no to himself. It is him that will decline the suggestion. It is him that will decline the impulse of self, wanting to gratify self. He said, let him say no to himself. He said, if any man will come after me, if any man will follow me, let him deny himself. So it is clear in the scripture that self-denial is an important component of following Jesus.